wanted to do today was just get you guys' overlay of what this looks like, and I appreciate that information. I'm associated with a stem cell activation patch from Lifewave called X39. Do you guys use that in your procedures and everything as well, or have you heard of that?
Personally, I've heard of a product like that. I can't say that exact one. I don't want to say anything out of school. I will tell you that our doctors don't use or prescribe those ever. And it's not necessarily bad. There's so many things being marketed as helpful for your stem cells or as giving you stem cells. I use the analogy all the time, and you can prove this out while we're talking. Go on to Amazon.com and type in stem cell into the search bar, and you'll find you can buy vials of stem cells for about $40 from Amazon. And I jokingly say, now, the upside is they're also vegan, okay, because they are from plants. They are, and they're not worth anything. There are a lot of pseudo products out there. A ton of clinics in the US, for example, say, oh, you don't need stem cells. What we have is exosomes, which are stem cells, which is not true. They are derived from the same kind of materials, but that's kind of like saying putting gas in my car is the same as putting oil in my car, because they're both fluids the car needs to drive. Yes, but gas is not oil. And my car, they're not interchangeable. One goes in one cap and one goes in the other. So I have some, a familiarity with the fact that those exist. I wouldn't tell anyone you should expect much benefit from those.
Okay, because the X39, it has a patent from the US Patent Office with case studies that prove that it does work. So I just wanted to get your take on that. I know a lot of people are seeing a lot of good benefits from it, and it's only $100 a month, where I think stem cell, what you guys do, are probably thousands of dollars each time, or close to, or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can roughly say, stem cells are going to be about in a range of $50 to $60 per million, but a typical treatment could be, anywhere from 50 million to, I don't know, 250 million, something in that range. So you are talking, numerous thousands of dollars to do a stem cell treatment. Hey, if someone's getting benefit from, a different type of product, more power to them.
Where do you get the stem cells?
The stem cells are 100% what is called Wharton's jelly. They're derived from Wharton's jelly, which is a material that is within birth matter, so placentas and umbilical cords. There's no embryonic, no fetal stem cells involved. Nobody has pain from the production of these. It's matter that otherwise literally would go to a landfill. It is from live, healthy births from donor mothers who are tracked through their pregnancy for health and exposure to different things and diseases, medicines. So you know that you're getting very pristine materials. And that material is then treated very much like an organ transplant, where from the minute the baby is born, that material is harvested, just like if you were harvesting a person, a liver out of someone, or a kidney for a transplant. It's taken immediately to the lab where it is prepared to be stored. And then as someone is coming in for stem cell treatment, the materials are taken out of storage and they are then processed to activate the stem cells and make them ready to administer.
Why do you refer people down to Mexico instead of just around here? Is it because it's cheaper, or is your product and what you guys do not allowed here?
It's the latter. It is. The FDA has not approved mesenchymal stem cells for use in the US. There are certain, call it emergency things that doctors can do to obtain stem cells and use them. on a very one by one basis. But because of that, doctors in the US have virtually no clinical experience with stem cells. Therefore, they're not likely to prescribe them. They're not likely to try to go through this exception process with the FDA to get a prescription approved. And the live fresh cells are illegal in the US, period. You cannot get the Wharton's jelly cells processed and administered to you live in the US, period. There's always an exception here or there, but let's just say
in general,
other than the one or two rare exceptions.
are some who are offering, Jeff, the cryo frozen cells, which deteriorates the quality of the cells quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so you can find studies out there in our Facebook group. We've posted some international or some independent studies from National Institutes of Health, both in the US and abroad, kind of comparing the efficacy of frozen cells. Cryo-frozen cells, if done right, are not necessarily wrong. They are just less. So, for example, in those independent studies, if you treat them correctly at the lab during transport and before administration, you basically kill approximately half of the cells. So if you bought 100 million cells, you're getting 50 million live ones and 50 million dead ones. There's not only are you not getting the number of cells that you should get because of that, but also your body tends to look at the dead cells and go, we got to detox those, meaning, they're like dead, they're almost like dead virus cells floating in your body. And your body goes, well, how do we detox things? Well, we go through fever and diarrhea and things. So we have a reaction. So when people go, I got stem cell treatment, and then I was sick for days, weeks, or months afterward, you can usually chalk that up to best case, they got a bunch of dead cells. Worst case is they didn't even get human cells. And that sadly does exist, hence the Amazon reference. We don't espouse pig cells, shark cells, plant cells, but all of those are available out there. So by getting live cells, basically you're getting virtually 100% live cells that are produced within, generally speaking, the day of or the morning of. If you had an appointment at noon, your cells are being produced that morning. And so everything is alive and healthy at the time that it goes into you.
There's a question in chat in terms of the GI successes with stem cells, GI conditions. It's something that stem cells really seems to have great success with, and really our doctors really feel confident when they're addressing those type of issues.
I would add to that and go, if of the clients we have, all of which have some kind of chronic condition, we don't, as I said earlier, we don't get involved with people wanting to come down to Mexico to get stem cells for facials and cosmetic things. So that's just not our space. Our space is dealing with principally autoimmune and anything autoimmune related. And that can be things that are skeletal. You get a lot of people with back problems, lumbar degradation, all kinds of things. Cancers are stem from autoimmune and metabolic kind of chemical imbalances. When we have clients in with different parts of the different systems in the body that are malfunctioning, the quickest positive responses and usually the most significant positive responses are in the GI system. Like, you will have people who within hours of getting stem cells go, my body is now craving food that I have been intolerant of for years or months because my body couldn't process that, and would immediately try to detox if I did try it. So GI issues respond very well. Anything that's kind of autoimmune related is going to respond well. Like I say, lungs respond well. When you get into certain, what I think that question's getting into a little bit is, yeah, but what is the cause? So you're talking about like cholecystitis, pancreatitis. That's where the important part of working with a very experienced doctor comes in, because the answer isn't, well, stem cells are going to fix those. The answer is, let's figure out what is triggering that pancreatitis, and what is the treatment to fix that condition. And it could be a metabolic change. It could be so. And then stem cells may be a part of that or not. And, I use the example a lot that people go, well, I heard I should try, I've got cancer. Should I try stem cells? And the answer is no. They actually won't be prescribed in a stem cell, in a cancer protocol. NK cells will absolutely be prescribed, but there's a lot of, again, kind of metabolic work that goes into that as well. So we work with doctors who are going to look at what is the root cause of what's triggering your flares, your conditions, your disorder. And, the stem cell may be on that path of the repairs once you have stopped the damages from happening.